Hi, welcome to class. My name is Moses Omobolaji, also known as Creativity Baba. In this class, we'll be learning the fundamentals of graphic design. So let's jump into it. Okay, so this is CorelDRAW interface. So my screen is or my scene is black, and I change it myself because I love black. So if you want to change it back, you can go to File, Options. Under these options, you'll see Customization. When you click on Customization, you see appearance. Under appearance, you see either lights. It's going to change to light. I'm coming. This is lights. You will see medium. This is medium. You will see dark. This is dark. Then we will see black. This is black. And we can also change the colors if we wish to. You can change it to probably green, and you can customize it the way we want to customize it, whatever way works. But I'm not really a fan of customize. I just like black. And the reason why I'm actually like going to this place is not because this is what we are going to be using to design, but I really want you to know like everything about the software. And yes, and I click on OK. So we'll see different options. You see get started. Under get started, you see the previous design that one has done before. If you've not done any design before, the reason why it's not even showing much design is because my hard disk is not connected. So previous design that one has done, these are the previous design I've done in the past. And you see workspace. Under this workspace, you see different workspace. Well, some of these things are not necessary as it is. The only thing that is necessary is design. So when you come to this get started, you see new documents. So when you want to design anything at all, you click on new documents. So under this new document is going to create a it's going to give you a option menu basically. So for this option, you see that the title, let's title this thing training, and the presets, we'll leave it on custom, number of pages one. So this pages view, you can see multiple pages or one pages. So if you want to design a magazine, for instance, now it's going to be on multiple pages. But what we're going to design is just one page. So there's something we call color mode. Let me try to open my is it notes? Can you see my notes, sir? Or let me just share my entire screen. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, was that a question? Yeah, I can
Yes,
see
I
your
said
notes.
okay, so this is my notes. So we have color so that in color in CorelDRAW, in any graphic software, we have color mode. Under the color mode, we have the CM, we have the CMYK, then we have the RGB. So for the CMYK, the CMYK simply stands for cyan. Cyan is also the same thing as sky blue. Then we have magenta, and magenta is also the same thing as pink. Then we have yellow, yellow, then we have black. So for this cyan, cyan is represented with C. Then magenta is represented with M, right?
Yeah.
We have M for magenta. The yellow is represented with Y, Y. Then black is always represented with K. So that's the reason why we have it as let me try to view. I don't know if I can increase this zoom in zoom. Okay. That's why we have CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. This is a color mode, right? Which means that any color we are having is going to be a combination of these four colors. So if you study art or art and dye or all of those watercolors and all of those things when we're in primary school then, I used to like mix color when we have blue plus yellow equals to green and all of those things. So we are going to be having those color, but it's not as if you are going to do it manually. It's just, it's just something that is going to be automatically done. But RGB is red, that's R. Then we have green, which is G. Then we have blue, which is blue. Then this is represented with RGB. So this RGB is, there are two different color mode basically. It's not use the CMYK or use the RGB. So the RGB is also a color mode, but in graphics, in CorelDRAW, the standard color mode we use is CMYK, and there's really nothing serious about it though. And CMYK, RGB is a primary color, which we have in color family. We have the primary color, we have the secondary color, and we have the tertiary color. So the primary colors are RGB, red, green, and blue. Secondary color, CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Then the tertiary color is white, just white. It's called contemporary colors, so it's just natural color, white. So, but in our class will be making use of CMYK, and I'll tell you the advantages of CMYK and disadvantages. If I design a flyer, for instance, and I want to send it to you on your phone, the phone actually use a standard RGB color mode, so it's not going to be looking good on your phone because it's on your mobile device. So if I design something in CMYK, for instance, now, and I want to send it to your phone, I'll have to convert it to RGB so that you can view the proper colors on your phone. If not, the colors are going to be distorted in a way. But when we are printing, because in design, there is a design industry, there's printing, you might want to go into fashion, you might want to go into publishing, you might want to go into different kind of different industries in design actually. But in these industries, the color mode that a lot of them use is CMYK because they are printers. If you are printing for 201 or DI or all of those things I used to go and do in Shomolu, for instance, now, if I want to go and print it and it to come out in the original color, it's going to be in CMYK. But if I'm sending it to probably LVCU, Instagram, Facebook, I'll have to convert it to RGB. Do you understand the difference, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right, so we'll be moving on. So I'll come here, I'll choose CMYK, and these file size, the file size, the parameter we use is inches. There are inches, millimeters, points, pixels, and all of those things. So I use inches a lot of the time, and you can use anyone you are comfortable with. So designs I actually do, depends on the kind of design you want to do. You can choose A4 or A5. Let's choose A5 for now and press OK. So it's going to open a blank space for us. So now we are going to be studying the UI. So on this units, I'm going to change the inches, and we have a ruler. We have rulers here. We have rulers. So the essence of the ruler is for guideline. So in design, there's something that is called, let me open my note again. There's one that's called guideline. So the guidelines helps, the guidelines helps us to align our design. So guidelines actually help us to get aligned design and professional design. So one of the mistakes that you see with designers that they really don't know work, or the difference between a pro designer and a designer, just a designer, is because of little details. Number one, guideline. Number two, alignment. So if you can actually focus on guidelines and alignments, your designs are going to be looking very, very, very good because everything is going to be looking well structured. So for instance, now let's say we have A5, for instance. Anytime I want to design on A5, I'm always having a guideline. So my guidelines are usually 0.5 by 0.5. So we see a zero here, we see is 0.25, is 0.5, 0.75. This is 1. So the length of this design is 5. This is the vertical, and this is the horizontal. So the vertical size of A5 is 5.827, then the horizontal is 8.268. So let's say, for instance, now I want to check from here to here. You will see that it's going to be 5.827. So in this alignment, for instance, that means whatever I'm designing must not be passing this place. Empress P. Color is blue. That means if I'm designing anything, for instance, now, whatever I'm designing must not exceed this blue space, even though I have the entire white space to design. But it's only going to be looking very good if I design now. Let's say, for instance, I'm putting phone number 08103115400. So if I'm putting phone number and my phone number is here, it's only going to be looking nice at the end of the day, because if I should remove this black and I turn this on to red, for instance, it's only going to be looking very nice. But imagine my phone number is at the bottom like this. When I see any design like this and the phone number and the text are close to the edges of the designs, I automatically just conclude that designer is not a good designer. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah,
So
I do.
that's actually what alignment helps us do in design. Can you still hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
So that's what alignment helps us do in design. So when you open CorelDRAW now, number one, the first thing is to double click on the rectangle tool. When you double click on this rectangle tool, it's called F6, but when you double click, it's automatically going to create a box for you to work on. When I double click on it, I can change it to black or gray or probably 10% black or blue. This is cyan here. This is cyan, which is sky blue. This is red. This is magenta, which is pink. So we see that in the color combination, we have CMYK. Cyan is 0, magenta is 100, yellow is 0, black is 0. But on red, we have cyan is 0, magenta is 100, yellow is 100, and black is 0. So all of these things are not that important, but you don't need to know all of those numbers, but you just know the colors. Okay, I want to use a yellow, or I want to use a lighter shade of yellow, for instance. I'm going to teach you how to create all of those things. So we're going to be starting with, let me use gray. I like gray. We're going to be starting with the toolbar basically. So the first one is the pick tool. So the pick tool is used to, let me draw some things, for instance. I'm still going to get here. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry for doing something that I'm not explaining right now. So I'm starting from the pick tool. The pick tool is used to pick, like from the name, pick tool is only used to pick. So I can pick this from year to year, from year to year, from year to year. I can pick things. Then we have the freehand pick. The freehand pick is actually you like dragging on what you want to pick, like you making an highlight on what you want to pick. Making an highlight. If I make an highlight on all of these ones, then I'm going to pick the both. But then instead of that, I never use this one. The only thing I use is the pick tool. So if I want to pick this, I pick this. Then if I want to pick something else, I press shift, then I pick it. So I can now color both of them red, for instance. So I'm going to send this note after though. So I'm going to be writing we have tools. Number one is the pick tool. Pick tool. So the pick tool is used to pick objects. It's used for picking objects. So I can pick it and pick this and pick this one. Even this one I can pick it and all. So anywhere your design is in the space, because this is a 2D space, anywhere your design is, if you press P, It's going to go to the origin, and the origin is the center of the page. If I remove this guy now and I press and I pick this rectangle and I press P, P takes anything at all to the center of the page. So for pick two, under pick two, pressing P takes anything selected to the center of the page. So that's what P does. So instead of trying to like, oh, let me bring this one here, let me bring this one. This guy that is here, this rectangle, if I want to bring it back to the center, I cannot be dragging it and checking, oh, is it properly placed? Oh, do I need to place it well? Those are shortcuts. Just press P, is aligned already, it's at the center of the page. So after we have pick two, then we now have, let me try to type last for instance, and I change the font to, let's say I change the font to Inter. P will take it to the center. So we now have the shape tool. The shape tool actually has to function in text and in objects. So for instance, for text, what shape tool does is that, I'm coming, graphics class. So what shape tool does, there are two things that shape tool does. It's actually spacing, it's actually used for spacing in objects. If I click on this guy, this arrow, this area, I can use to extend this guy like this, for instance. And it can be used like this, for instance. Let me separate them. Let's say I want these guys to be closely related. I can only use it for this class. Then I'm going to press it like this. I'm sure you've seen some designs like this, sir.
Yes, I have.
Yes, sir. So the shape tool is used to shape text. This second one is used for shaping text. So if I want to bring it closely related or slightly distance, it's shape tool I'm going to be using. And also, the shape tool is also used to it's actually meant for spacing basically. Let's say I want to space vertically. This is it. I'm spacing vertically. Is this horizontal? I don't even know like this right now. If I'm spacing vertical, I'm going to be using this. Then if I'm spacing horizontal, I'm going to be using the next one. Can you see, sir?
Yes, I can.
It does not change the fact that I can break them apart. To break anything apart, we use CTR, Control plus K. Let me try to bold this. But this thing can't bold. All right, so to space anything apart at all, we use Control K, which is that Control K actually means break apart, like breaking things apart. So if I press Control K for this text, for instance, Control K, so we now say that this graphics is alone, this class is on its own. Here I should still press Control K on this class. That means the C is on its own, the L is on its own, A is on its own, S is on its own, this is on its own. For this graphics, so if I press Control K, you have the G on its own, right? You have the R on its own, H on its own, C on its own. And this can actually be used to make some cool designs, basically. I can decide to make this C bigger and probably this L probably slightly bigger, this A small, this S probably slightly bigger, and this S. It just depends on what you want to achieve, sir. So that's the essence. So you can break things apart and still continue with what you want to achieve. So I'm going to be stopping all of this, and that is for the shape tool. So other functions of this place are really not needed actually. I don't use them in my designs. So the next one is now the crop. Let me try to bring images that I might download, for instance. if I want to drag any image into corridor, I just click on it and just drop it inside. So when I drop it inside, it's going to be having a very big size. I'll just change the size to like probably like 10. So we're going to be seeing that okay, we have this. When we have this now, we're now saying that okay, oh, this is this picture, for instance. And I'm going to be showing you or giving you the graphics resource I use. I actually use a lot of graphic resource. Number one is the Freepik. Where's Freepik? I don't know where Freepik is. Well, Freepik is actually like a graphic resource I use a lot to get any design I want. There are a lot of designs and it's free. So you can actually like get a lot of, let's say you want to do um invitation card. So when you click on invitation card, you see different invitation card, and you can now start choosing anything you want and start designing from there. So most of the time I design a lot, right? But most of the time I don't design from the scratch. But then I can design from the scratch. And that's the reason why I'm not even going to go into this resource for now, because you need to know how to design things on your own, even without any resource, because there can be inspirations and you need to achieve it. So let's do without the resource for now. But we're on the crop tool. For the crop tool, we use it to crop objects like, the ones we have on our phone. You can use crop tool. Like, okay, let's say we want to crop only this new year out. When I'm done cropping, I press enter. So this only thing is going to be showing me. Is this straightforward, sir?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So we now have the zoom. Zoom is just used to highlight. Then when I can zoom out or zoom in. If I want to zoom in only this happy, I can zoom in only this and just check. So there are sometimes that you might want to design and your designs are like you only need to see only this part so that you can actually like focus on what you are designing more. Probably depending on the screen or depending on probably you just want to laser focus on or more details on what you are designing. You can just do like this and just zoom in and do whatever you want to like work on. So that was it. Then we have the freehand tool. This is where everything now start getting interesting. This freehand tool is used to draw. So in Corel Draw, like the name sounds, we actually like do a lot of drawings basically. For instance, logo. Let me try to bring in a logo. Um, which logo have I done recently? Logo. Okay. Let me bring this my most studios logo. And I'll now explain how it is done. So for logos, for instance, now there is no there's no two ways about it. You have to know how to design it. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
You have to know how to design from the scratch. Like you cannot like okay, open corridor and like logo comes out. You have to know how to like use this freehand tool. It is this freehand that we used to do any logo, anything at all. So the first thing we want to analyze about this logo is that what makes up this logo? What makes up this logo is number one, circle, the base circle, which is on the yellow. So I'm going to try to draw on it. The reason why I'm going to be redesigning this logo is because I want to explain how the free hand tool work because it is free hand tool that actually like does all of this logo. So I make a circle of this and let me bring it out. I'm just going to be using a eyedropper. This tool here is called eyedropper. I'm going to drop this color on this color, right? So the next thing is now like this edge. How is this edge achieved? Everything is achieved on a free hand tool. Let me just use it and you'll see how what I'm talking about. So we have to click on this freehand tool. Click on, let's start from this one. Let's say we want to draw this one, for instance. We start from this part. Probably let's because we'll be making lines. Let's say the first line is here. Let's say the first line is here. I'll double click to establish the point. The second line is here. I double click to establish the point. Dot line S, double click, double click, double click. Let's say I'm stopping here, double click, then I come back here, double click. You see node to join two lines together, like to make it like a container basically. So you see node. So when we are on the node, we just press it. So on this originally, what we have is just this weird shape, this white shape, right? So we can actually like shape this our shape here to form this edge. And how do we do it? That's why I said the shape tool is actually in two form. Let me be using a red outline, and so we are going to go back to our shape tool because anything that is done is actually it actually comes from shape. So now we're actually using a combination of, oh my god, Zoom time is running out. So I'm still going to restart the meeting. So we have this shape tool, for instance. So we now click on this shape tool. On this shape tool, this is what we have. So we click on this line. On this line, we see like an S. We might come out and see a triangle, but when we come on the line, we'll see an S. So when we right click, we see to curve. To curve. If you don't understand, you can just drag me back, sir. Or if you have any question, you can always interrupt me and drag me back, sir.
No
So I'll
problem.
try to go slower. So we now have to curve. So when I press to curves, that means I can now like curve this part. That means if I zoom in, I can now like curve it. So under this curve, we now have two lines responsible. So we can have this line making it like this, or this line making it like this. So we have two lines to like, reconstruct our shape. So I'm going to be using these two lines majorly. So I'm going to come in here like this. Yeah, something like this. So we are getting the shape already. So I come to this next one, right click to curve. So I check it that this one is here. Then what I do is that I try to bring the first line down a bit. Then the second one, try to increase it a bit. Then I can actually like start checking that, okay, this is not correct. I have to bring it back a bit. Okay. And this one affects this line here. I'm trying to correct it. Okay, so we have something like this. So this next one, we have this top to curve. I'm going to drag it up a bit like this. And that's the end of that. And just try to just make it align. I'll leave this one as a line. Or I might just do it like this. Okay, for this one, I'm going to right click also, off. Something like this. Then this thing to curve. Then the last one, this line here, to curve again. Right click on this line. When you right click on this line, you see options: add, delete, break apart, smooth, symmetrical. I'm just going to choose to curve because I want to curve that line. Then I'm going to like drag this here like this, probably this. So this is like a basic shape, for instance. So if I now like remove this guy here and I paint it black, these are we already having our shape already, sir. So that is the essence of freehand tool. We can use it to draw anything. So if I bring this freehand tool back here and I try to remove the color, so let's say I want to draw this part, this white one, I'll just like right click, click on this, click on this, click on this. then come back here. Hard. So I'll be right clicking on this part to curve. Just bring it out a bit. So I'll color this one white. Then the eyes. The eyes is circle actually, but it was inverted. So I'll just click a circle, then I'll try to turn it on this angle. I'm using pick two to shape it. We can have our eyes like this. Then the second one, I'll just like draw another one. So for this one now, because black um this black eyes that is inside now, it's still the same shape. So I'll just press Control Copy and Control Paste on this yellow line I've drawn. Control Copy, Control V. Control Copy is Control C, and Control Paste is Control V. So when I pasted it, then I have two lines. Then I can now like reduce one of them. Then I put this here. Not compulsory is that aligned, but then let me just put it like this. Then so if I'm going to be doing the second one, so I'm going to be picking these two, then Control Copy, Control V, that's Control Paste. I'm going to bring this here. So to turn it to the other side, we have the mirror. Can you still see my screen, sir?
Yes, I can. You said to turn it upside down. You're going to use what?
The mirror. This is the mirror
Okay,
here.
okay,
So we have
okay,
a mirror here. This mirror, we have this and this. So this mirror is to turn it to the other side like this.
okay.
This is the first mirror. Then the second mirror is to turn it upside down, something like this. I think it is more going to be straightforward with line. Let's say, for instance, I have this line. I have this line, for instance, now. If I want to turn it to this other side, I'm just going to press this mirror tool. It's going to turn to this other side. If I want to turn it upside down, like vertically, it's going to be like this. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right, sir. So I'm going to turn. So I'm going to be clicking on this tool, painting it white, and click on this tool, painting them black. So now, if we remove the original logo, we can see that we already have something looking like the logo, for instance. So let me click black. Then all this outline, all this yellow outline, I'm going to remove it by dragging on everything, right? Then instead of clicking on any color, then I'm just going to be right clicking on this cancel line. This first one, which is having this slant line, I'm just going to right click on it. So it's going to remove all the color. So I'm going to be coming again with that. If I have a box, for instance, now, if I left click on any color, it's going to change to the color. But in CorelDRAW, anytime you draw anything, you will always see a black outline on it, right, sir?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So to remove all this black outline, all these weird things, you just go to this cancel, the first one. Then instead of if you left click, you are going to removing the color itself. But if you right click,
Okay.
you are going to removing the outline.
Okay.
So if I come to this part, I click on cyan, for instance, it's still having the black. Then I right click on it, it's going to remove the outline.
Outline.
So that's the same thing I did for the logo. So I just click on everything, then I right click on the outline, this first one, so that all the outlines are going to be removed and we are going to be having a perfect shape. So this is what we have. So I'm going to
Yes.
should we finish this logo, sir?
Yes, because I want to know how you did the thing that is supposed to be the ear.
Okay, sir. Okay, so let's go back to where we started from. So now we see that we've done these eyes and the eye and the face shape and the mouth. So we want to see how we're going to do the ear. But before the ear, we have to pay attention to details. There's one thing that is on top of the head, something like
Yeah.
line. So that one is not even hard. Just come to this freehand tool, just come here and just put a line on it. Just put a line and you are done actually. That's why I did it. So you can now decide to now freestyle and come to shape tool, then right click on it and to curve. Then you can now curve it a bit. You can come to this one to shape to curve it a bit. So actually like increase the thickness of the line by going to this place and just increasing it probably 3 or 1 or probably like 1.5, depending on how much you want to increase the thickness basically. So let's put this one as 1.5. So that's the way I achieved that stuff at the head of the guy. And it's not even that long, self, it's just short.
Yeah.
So for the year now, which where you focus. So let me quickly draw the year. See, okay, let me draw it here. Then I'm going to take it to the other side. So to draw the year is not hard actually. The first thing to do is just to use free hand tool, right? This which is the fifth one that we are currently studying. We studied the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one. So this one, for instance, now this one works together with the shape tool, which is something that we'll be using to draw the logo, right? So let's go back to the freehand tool. We come to this point here, click once, then we'll come to this point. Let's say this point, double click, and we come to this point. Double click. I'm looking for the points that's going to use first to curve. Then when I'm coming back to the last time, I just click once on the node. So when I click once, it's just going to show me this wedge shape. So you now have to like shape it to fit in the shape that we want. So you saw that the outline was black before I changed to red. How do I change the
Yeah.
outline? I'll right click to change the color of any outline, you right click on color. When you want to fill it up, you will left click, right? So if you want to the outline is for right click, then the to fill it is left click, which is the normal click, the left click. So let's say I want to change the line to, let's say, yellow. So I can probably see what I'm doing very well. Or I like using like probably red or magenta. So I'm going to see there's going to be contrast. So I'm going to say, okay, this is what I'm working. Because if I'm using black, it's not going to be too clear like that. So I
Yes.
change the color so to magenta. So if I want to remove this line now, I'll just right click on this like this
I see.
cancel stuff here, right? So the line is gone, but it's still there, but the line is invisible right now, right? So I'm going to go back to red. So now to shape the tools, right? I'm going to right click on this line. You see one S that is now convertible to curves. So right click on it to curve. Then I'm going to like start shaping it. I'm going to be using one of it. Now I'm just going to slightly increase this one a bit, right? So for this second one, I want to do the same thing. But to just make the process easy, instead of clicking one, curve it, click the second one, curve it, there's a shortcut. Just press Control A, which is Control All. So when you right click to curves, which means that everything already, you can now curve everything. Like everything. So you don't need to go to the next one and start saying that I want to curve. Do you understand, sir?
Oh, yes, I do.
All right, so that's it. So I'm going to try to adjust this guy. So as I'm adjusting, I'm trying to see what works. Okay, so I'm going to be dragging this guy a bit because it's not too much. Then I'm going to be just shape this guy. I think we've gotten our shape already. Then the last one is this line that is now inside. To get the line that is inside, just one line here, one line here. Then I'm going to come back to the line I'm coming from, like the start of the line, one line back. What did I just do? Let me start again. Um, one line here, double click here. And I'm going to be coming back to this point because that's the point I want to come back to. You see the reason in a bit. Come back here. So I'm going to be changing it to yellow so I can see. So I'm just going to be pressing I'm going to go into my shape tool. When I'm on my shape tool, I just press Control A, then right click, then to curves. That means everything can now be curved. So I'm going to drag this one up and drag this one a bit like this. So something like this. So this is it. So I'm going to be coloring this one white. Then I'm going to be moving the outline because I don't need the outline. So even though I've removed the outline, I can still adjust it. The outline is just to act as guide, basically. So this point is because once we are designing, we have to pay attention to the littlest details, like the littlest details. So we get something very, very close to what we are trying to achieve. So I'm going to, and if you check this line now, this line is shooting out like there's a contour here, and it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So what I do in this case is that I double click here, I double click a point here, I double click another point here. So I've made 2 points already. So I now delete the middle one. Can you see, sir?
I say that again.
Okay, so I actually have a contour. Like at this edge, there's a contour here. And it's supposed to be smooth.
Yeah.
So what I do
Yes.
to eliminate that contour is that I go to just like go to this part around this side, I double click here. Then I go to this part again, I double click. So I've already actually made like 3 points now. So the reason why it's actually like
Mhm.
having contour is because there are no vertices that are close together. So I'm actually like making two
Okay.
vertices like beside it, like in the surrounding, so I can delete this one. So these two vertices that is not going to form like a curve, like it's going to transition smoothly.
Oh, okay. I
That's
understand.
the reason for that. So I think we're done. I'm going to color in this one black. Then I'm going to move in the outline by right clicking here. Like these are like the colors I've used recently. That's why all these colors are here. So I'm going to be right clicking here. Then I think that's for that. So what we do for the next one is that instead of drawing again, we just copy and paste. So I'll let me just copy. Control copy, that's Control C, then Control paste is Control V. Then I'm pasting. So when I move it to this side, I see that okay, it's here. So I just use this mirror to mirror horizontally. I'm not going to like bring it to shape it. I just make sure that it's probably aligning. And it might not be the just try to just bend it a bit. Okay. So now let me do this logo. So we have this. I'm going to be moving these two guys. Yeah. I'm trying to move. I think it's okay like this now. Right? So this is the logo.
Yes.
You understand, sir?
Yeah, I do.
So and a lot of time drawing is actually like not easy because like it's not easy to really draw because especially people that really do not have like the talents. For me, for instance, now I'm not really a pure artist in a sense because like I draw a lot, I have inspirations, but like what most of the things I actually do like they come from references. I check references, I check site and all of those things and see, okay, these are what works and what does not work. A lot of time it's until I start designing, that's why I know where I'm going to. But there are some people they'll have sketched out what they want to do already. You understand? And they will not do it. But for me, it's not the same. So that's why I said that design is not really like a talent per se. It can also be a skill because it can also be developed. So if you really want references for logo, let's say you want to do a logo for instance now. Like this logo for instance now, I did not draw it because I needed a logo for my startup and I was like, where do I start from? So I reached out to one of the concept artists for New Age and I told her that, okay, I need a logo that's for my startup. And she told me how much it's going to cost me, and I paid her. Then she drew it. She just sketched it for me on paper. Then I now like followed it because I really don't want to have a design that somebody else has done before, or probably go to Google. So if you really are not the conceptualization person, it's not still a problem. There are people that are that's their specialty. Just reach out to them and they just give you concepts. Then just do your work based on that from there. Do you understand, sir? Can you hear me, sir? Hello?
Yeah, I, I do.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
I can. I said I do. I understand you.
All right, all
Can
right.
you hear me?
I
Can you
can
hear me?
hear you now. It was breaking
Yes, I
before.
can.
All right. So let's continue. So these are artists of
Yeah, I think
the
network is.
free and two. Then we have the smog. This smog, I really don't use it actually, but some people use it just to make all this. We can even use it to make this top guy, like the head. Just but I really don't use this smog because there's not really any essence. But anything I want, any shape I want, I can usually just draw it out. Then I have the rectangle tool, which is very easy to draw rectangle. I have the rectangle tool. Then I have the circle tool. Then just to draw circle, right? This is for the circle tool. Then I have the polygon tool. Yes, the polygon tool is used to draw polygon. And for the polygon, that's me. Reduce your voice. The polygon tool is used to draw polygon. So I can increase the size of the polygon by coming to this place. By probably I want a 7 side polygon. I'm going to change to 7. Can you see, sir? If I want a 10 side polygon, I increase 10. Something like this. Do you understand, sir? Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir? If you can hear me, I think the network is bad. So you can just use WhatsApp. I'm going to sit immediately, sir. Hello, sir. Um, I really want to make sure you hear me, sir. All right, so the meeting is being recorded, so I'll still like upload the meeting. Can you hear me, sir? I guess it's the network.
Yes, I can.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
So I'll just continue. So for this polygon, we can like change the number of sides of it. We can change it to let's say pentagon. I don't know pentagon. I think hexagon is 7. Octagon is 8. You can just change to any side you want. Can we change to 50 for instance? It's going to look like a circle, but it's still a polygon because you have different number of sides with it. So there's one trick that people that used to design certificates used to use. So what they do is that they do a polygon, change to like 40, then they come to shape tool. Then they drag one of the shape to form something like this. So I know you will see these things in a lot of certificates. So this is how they do it. You can even make it inside or try to screw it, something like this, depending on what you want to do, basically. So that's how this effect is achieved. You understand, sir? I'm going
Yes,
to be
I do.
repeating it. So let's change this one to 30. Then let's say you want to design a certificate, all those of those this thing, just drag this thing here. Something like this. So that's what the polygon is used for. Then we have star. We have star, then to draw star. Under this, we have the spiral, then to draw the spiral. We have graph. We can use this one to draw graph. So that's how we do all of these things. So the next tool is the text tool, which is very easy. I just type creativity. So that is just used to type. That is the text tool. So I'm going to be creating a page, like a new page. That's page two. I'll just come to this plus that is there. This is used to create another page. So I'm going to type in let's say, yeah, double click on this, F4, then let's color it gray. Interport. I'm changing the fonts to Inter. So this, I want to use this one to explain the rest of the effect. So we're on text too, right? So this text is I'm using it to write anything I want to write. So this one I really don't use this guy. I don't use this guy. The next one I now use the only one that's only just three actually. So this one is the drop shadow tool. This shadow tool is used to cast shadow. Let's say I click on the drop shadow tool and I just drag this guy. It's going to form a shadow,
Yeah.
something like this. So
Okay.
for this shadow, for instance, now, there are a lot of things involved. So when you come to the top of this place, you see the shadow, what would I even call it? Adjustment layer, basically. So you can change this one to normal. You can change the color of the shadow to, let's say, red or blue or any color we want, basically. You can change to green. Let me just leave it on green. I don't know the color I'll use. Let me just put it on something that is very visible and not too far from it. Let me put it on this blue. So after that, we can change this, we can increase this thickness to, let's say, to 100. You can see that the shadow is now very thick. Then you can make it to be
Mm.
very faint, something like this. This is for spread, to make it spread, like how do I explain it now? The opacity, how thick is it of the shadow? So you can put it like this. And this one is for the spread. Either we want to make it spread small, I want to make it spread very much. This one is almost going into extinction. Let's just bring it back to um let's bring it back to like 10 or 7. It's still looking very thick. Depending on the kind of effect we want to achieve, actually. So there's always a purpose in designing. So it depends on what we want to achieve. So we can also as well drag this thing up. Can even drag it out of it. Can drag it here. Can drag this drop shadow here. Can drag this drop shadow here. Anywhere we feel like dragging it to. That's where the shadow is going to stay. Can decide like okay, the shadow is at the bottom, something like this. And that's actually going to be like the effects we're going to try to pass. You can use this line to just adjust things. So that's for the shadow. So I'm going to be leaving my shadow as something like this. Let me just try to just put it here. Let me leave my shadow like this. Then under the shadow, there are a lot of things involved. There's the contour. The contour is used to make things like this. I'm not sure you can even see this thing well.
Okay.
Try to.
something like it. Then I can put it on a two layer. Then change the color to, let's say, red. Change color to, so this is for the contour. So you can have things like this for contour. But really, I really don't use it at the same time. Also, I'll tell you what I use a lot of time. So, then we now have, let me press Control Z. Then we have, I'm trying to remove the shadow. Let me leave the shadow for now. Then we have, the distort. The distort is used to like distort the text from the name, distort. And some people use it, but I don't use it in my designs actually. So you can just do something like this to just make the letter look very weird, to just distort the letter
Okay.
basically. So this is distort. It depends on how you feel like using it. Some people use it, some people don't use it. I don't really use this thing, but it can be beautiful if you use it very well. So this is for distort. Then we have, what's the name of this stuff? Then we have envelope. Yes, this envelope is used for something like this. Envelope.
Okay.
So you want like shape too, you can, curve it how you want it. You can curve the side like this. You can curve, everything has a point. So you can curve this part like this. You can decide to curve this part like this. You can decide to like go to this line and just, okay, I still want this place to be. So more like the shape tool effect basically. So whatever shape we take, that's what it's going to form, right? So we now have another one, which is the extrude. Extrude is to give a block to it. Let's say I'm extruding here. Let me try to extrude. I want to extrude. This is extrusion. Can you see, sir?
Yes, I can.
All right, sir. This is extrude. Whether other angles we want to extrude from. This is used to form like a 3D effect. It's not like a 3D
Okay.
have like something like a 3D basically. So this is extrusion. I don't know the one that is now fine now. Mhm. Let, let me leave it like this. So Munasa, even this thing is not looking fine again, right? Because
Yeah.
it's black and the background is also black. So let's break apart, which is Control K. Let's break apart Control K. Then let's change the front one, which is because we've broken it apart. Let's change the first one to white or something. I don't know. This one is too dark. I can leave it like this. I'm actually background to black. What's long.
Okay.
So depending on what you want to do actually. So which is this. Let me leave it like this. So let me leave it like this. So then we now have a transparent tool, which is the last one. This transparent tool is used to transparent. So I'm going to be explaining how the transparent tool works in a different concept. So let me draw a box and I color it blue. If I want to transparent it on this side, I just drag it to this part. I'm fading this part. If I want to fade this other part, I fade this other part or this other part or this top. Anyone I want to fade. I fade from angles, right? So there are two ways this thing work actually. Let me use for instance now. Let me try to put white. Let me color this thing white and take this guy up. Let me color it red. Yes, so it's going to control. So let's say I want to fade this red into this back because there are two different colors. Now I want to fade it into each other. So I take the transparent tool, then I drag it towards the top. Something like this. Yeah.
Okay.
You understand, sir?
Yeah. Yeah.
So If I want to fade it from the side, if I want to fade it, let's say it's like this, it's covering everything. If I want to fade it from the side, I can just use the transparent tool and just transparent this part, like something like this. I can even drag it as far as dragging it out, just to see what the kind of blend that works. Then I can now bring this to the top, like right click and press shift page up on your laptop to now bring to the top. So that's how extrusion works. Sorry, transparent. Let me use it in uh let me use a image for instance. So it can also be used on images basically. Let's say I have this image right here. I was then let me try to reduce. So if I want to transparent this image into this background, let's say I'm changing this background to blue, for instance. Now, let me change this background to blue, so that we are going to be having the same what's the name? We're going to be having the same colors, and this blue is not too blue. I'm going to come to this bit later. So let me just transparent, drag it to the top. Hey, sorry, I'm going to click on what I want to transparent first, which is the image. Then transparent. I'm going to drag it into the top, something like this. Then I can now change this one to, let's say, something like, so it's going to look as though it's blending together. You understand, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, so something like that. That's how transparent works. And transparent can also be used in a different approach, actually. So let's say, for instance, now, this image is here. I can decide to transparent it. Instead of dragging up and down, you see a liner here, you can just increase the liner like this. Just to
Yeah.
check the opacity, increase or decrease. Anyone. But there's not an issue, basically. Because anytime you fade from, let's say I fade from the top, for instance, now, right? And I want it to remain like this. And I also want to fade it from the side. It's going to automatically cancel the one at the top, and it's not going to be taking the one at the side. So to now like correct that, not correct, to now actually like work a trick around that. What I usually do is that after I've like transparent this part, and I want to transfer another part and it's not still working, I'm just going to like go to image, that's bitmap, then convert to bitmap. So when I'm converting to bitmap, I just press OK. That means that I've now converted it to a picture again. So it's no longer like a transparent. Even though it's transparent, it's not a picture. So if I'm going to be transparent again, the ink tree is not on it any longer. So it's now seen as one picture now. You understand, sir?
Okay. Yes, I do.
So that's how I usually like check all of those things out. So that is for that. So this then we have another one which is the eyedropper. This eyedropper, for instance, like, if I want to bring this color into this place, I don't need to be like, oh, what is this? What is the cyan? What is the magenta? I'll just click on this color and just drop it here. That is, or you click on this color, drop it here. Or click on this black, drop it here. That's the eyedropper. So that brings us to the end of the tools in CorelDRAW. So I'm going to be making a document, right? After this call, I'm going to be preparing a document for all the old shortcuts in CorelDRAW. So you have Control A, Control B, Control C, Control D, down to Control Z. Then we have F1, F2, F3, F4, down to F12. We have Shift F1. So if you now all of these shortcuts that now mix, because Corridor is very, very robust, but it can look like a very simple interface, but it's very robust. So it is with all of those shortcuts that will now have like a better understanding of how the entire corridor works. Because like there's nothing inside this corridor that I can really not like navigate. There's nothing at all because I just know everything. So that's just the way it is. And that's because like I've known a lot of functions and shortcut. Like if I press control, if I can press something that you'll be like, oh, what am I pressing? But it's going to look like, oh, if I press F11, for instance, now, it's going to bring me here, right? And I can change this on
Yeah.
to B, and I can change this on to probably red. This is just F11.
Oh,
So if I want to change this shade of color, I can just press Shift F11. Then I come to the color view, I can start changing the shade of the red. So these are just
mm,
like shortcuts I use per se. Then I can press, instead of pressing text, I can press F8, which is text, and I can start typing. If I press F7, that's I can start drawing. If I press F6, I can start drawing rectangle. If I press F5, I can start drawing my freehand tool already. So that's actually
mm,
like what makes my process to be, because I can actually design in like 3 minutes. Actually, I think the 12 actually knows, and I think you're in the 12 also. The last 10 year, like there's some designs I do
yeah.
for every you. It can be under 2 minutes. Actually, I'll just bring this, and I'm done. So
Yeah.
it's just because of all of those motion. And it's just that I now have like a lot of things I'm not like have to now do. So I have to like fast find ways that are like going to make it faster, make my process faster. So I'm going to teaching you
Mm,
my process, my own personal process, and what makes my design to be very, very fast and still very, very unique. At the end of our class, you'll be able to like on your own design things like this, like standard, like something like this. You can like just wake up and just do something like this. Someone will be like, now when do you start learning graphics and design something like this? You'll be like, it's just 1 week ago. And you are designing something like this. You'll be like, yes. And what I just know is just that it depends on who teach you actually and how they teach
yeah.
you. I can decide to teach somebody for 1 week and still decide to teach somebody for 1 month. I can still decide to teach somebody for 1 year. And all of them will know the same thing, actually. All of them will eventually come to know the same thing. But I'm not saying that you will not spend time on your own. That actually means that you will now spend much more time, much more time, much more time. After the seventh day, after a week of this class, we are going to be having a portfolio. And I can tell you that you'll be surprised at your portfolio also, sir. So we'll see like what we've been able to achieve in this class.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's like the end of the class for today. Um, Let me jump back to corridor first. I can still continue teaching if you have time. Though.
I mean, I have time. I'm not doing anything. No.
All right, so let me just continue. Let me just touch on all of these guys here. So we know that we are done for the interface, all of these guys, because we've been able to establish a knowledge on all of these things that are here, right, sir? So
Yeah.
we're able to establish this one. So I'm going to be going through all of this menu bar here. This is the toolbar. This is the toolbar. This is the menu bar. That is here. So for the menu bar, the way the menu bar works is very different from the toolbar. The toolbar is what we use as tools. Then the menu is like the menu. So for this one, we have the first one, we have file, we have create new document, which is control N, right? Can I create a new document, but I'm not creating a new document now. Then you have open. You can try to open any of my design. You can see any of the designs I've done probably in the past and just try to open any of them. So that's for this one. Let me show you one wedding listen I did. Um this is a wedding invitation I did actually for my brother. So as fine as this design is, let me break down this design for you. So you see what it entails. This is one shape line. This one is a different font. This one was done like this. This one is different. This one is different. This one is different. This one is different. All these ones are downloaded. I downloaded this one. I downloaded all of these things. All of these ones. I did not create them. I downloaded them. Then this one. And for the background, let me double click. So there's actually like a container inside. Let me X. This thing is just green. So the reason why it's now last time is because I actually have a background that I actually have. So what I did was that I let me go to frame type, remove frame. So I just right click, and when I right click on it, instead of movie or copy, I power click inside. So the next thing I'm going to be teaching after all of this is power clip, right? So I'm just like trying to like analyze this design and just say what make up this design. So design is actually not complex. But when you look at it in the real sense, after everything has come together, it's now looking like a very beautiful piece. So this is what we
Yeah.
have. So it's just like layers upon layers. You see text like this that are even following the paths. And you wonder how
Yeah.
is this text following this path and all of this. We'll see all of these things very soon. So let's go back to the training. I don't like anything too dark. So let me change it to white. Okay, so there's actually like something that is called color theory. But I'm also going to touch on that probably before I finish this class. Color theory, yeah, color can be serial or URL also. So let's continue with the file. Then we have save as, we have close, we have recent projects. You can see the recent project I've done, right? So we have save, we can save this document. You can try to save, but I'm not saving yet. We can save as, then we can import. When we import, what actually means that we are trying to like import something that is, let's say something like downloaded, for instance. Now, let me say I'm importing this, let me import a, let me import this guy. So what I've done is I downloaded this thing from Freepik, so I'm importing it. So help me see you and Merry Christmas. What I just downloaded this stuff. I put LVCU. I put what did I even put? I just put LVCU and the Glorious Family, and I put Merry Christmas, and that was all. And I was done with that design. So resources that will actually make your design process much more easier. So I'm trying to look for a background I downloaded. Um, what's in the background though? I'm coming, Sal. This is a red background. Let me use this background. Let me just use something like that. So for this background, for instance, now, let's say that I want to design something like as regards New Year, for instance, right? So you know that we've spoken about let me delete all of these things. What I've just done in this page, I just imported already this image. So let's say I want to
Yes.
change the orientation of this page. I can change it to landscape or portraits. So that's where the orientation lies. Either I want to see it in landscape or portrait. So this is landscape, this is portrait. So this design I want to do is going to be in portrait. I want to do a Merry Christmas design. So let me double click on the rectangle tool to create a container. Then let me call it gray, for instance. So for instance, this picture now, I can move it with my pick tool. I'm just moving it up and down, right? With this pick tool.
Yes.
I can move it here, I can move it here, I can move it here. So what I'm doing is that when I want to move, I'm left clicking to just drag and move, drag and move. But if I right click and drag and move into this box, what it actually means that it's going to be showing me options. If I want to move here, yes. If I drag it here, if I want to copy it here, okay. Okay. So this is where we are. So like I was saying earlier, that when we drag like this, you can just use move and pick tool to just you can like with size move tool. Even before I go to what next I want to say, let me delete one of them. In design, we only increase the image size from the corners, like and we reduce it from the corners. If you have an image size, it's very wrong for you to increase it from here or here or here or here. The only part you are allowed to increase the image size from is from the corners. And this is because it's going to be scaling proportionally. It's going to
Okay.
be enabling you to be scaling proportionally. And when you press shift and you scale from a side, it's going to scale everything proportionally. But when you don't press shift, it's just going to be one side, and one side. So that's scaling. That's as regards that. So if I right click and drag into this object, it's going to see power clip inside. So when I power clip inside, that means the image is now inside the container. So there's a container there. So the image is inside the container. So there are a lot of things involved actually. Let me first remove the line. I will just remove the line because I don't like sending line. So to now edit this container, exactly. So now edit this container. What I do is that I can see edit here. So I can edit the content. So I can now like reduce it. Just press P for instance. I can say okay, it's now scaling well. Or I can probably still want to remove bring this one to the side. Then when I'm done, I'll press finish. So this is what I have. So this is looking like a good background already. So if I want to press Merry Christmas. Oh, I press V. Merry Christmas. So white scale. Let me change the font to Royal Vikings. So what I do in this situation is that I now have two. Let me break apart. That's Control K. Control K is to break apart. Then I can now
Yeah.
like start bringing this one. Probably just bring it here and you can decide to increase it more depending on what I want to do actually.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas um from Creativity Baba. So I can just probably like still put this guy. I just put this thing. And this is a good design already. So depending on whatever I want to achieve with this. So if I want to still like do some other stuff, if I have download background, I can come to free pick, type Merry Christmas. I'm going to see a lot of background I can use. So I'll probably like choose, let me say I'm choosing this for instance. I don't even know the one to choose.
But all these fonts, there are people that like design it too, right?
Yes, people design these fonts. So all these fonts, you can download it actually. So the most important thing is to know the names of the fonts. Because if you can know the names of the fonts, you can download the fonts. And if you cannot
Oh,
know the name of the fonts, you can actually like download like let's say for instance now, I actually like this one that is on Crown, this one is on premium. That means you cannot download unless you subscribe. So I'm not a subscriber, so I'm using only free trial, so I can't download anyone that is on premium. So let's say for instance, let me look for a Merry Christmas that makes sense. Let me look for this one. All these fonts, for instance, now these ones are like presets. So let's say that I want to download this one. If I download the free download, it's going to download on my laptop, and let me extract it from the zip. When I extract it, so this is what I have. So to now bring it into CorelDRAW, I bring the Illustrator file. I just drop it on CorelDRAW. So this is what I have, right? So I have something like this. So I can now decide to ungroup it, which is Control U. Then I now pick anyone I want. Let's say I'm picking this, for instance. Let me pick this. And let me delete this Merry Christmas. This is what I'm picking. Let me try to delete the rest. So this Merry Christmas. Let me reduce the bits. So if I press Ctrl U, that's on group. I can now change, I can even change everything to white first. If I now even start changing the colors. So the way Freepik work is that whatever you're downloading is a vector, which means that they can be edited. Like that's the reason why I rarely use Google download actually. And the reason is because when you download anything from Google, you cannot edit the colors. Like if I download a picture, for instance, I cannot edit the background, I cannot change the color of the this or that. But for Freepik, for instance, I can change the background, I can change anything else to change. Even this stuff that is a background, like I can actually like, decide to change it because it comes in there's something that is called encapsulated postscript. That's EPS. So I'm going to show you here. This is it. So they are file type basically. So let me, can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, I can still see your screen.
So let me try to, this stuff is called encapsulated postscript. This one is the Illustrator artwork. So we see even the license, free license premium. In case you want to put it on Instagram and they're asking for license, you can just upload this document there as a license. So it comes with license and everything. So anything you download from Freepik, for instance, now you can edit it. If I open it in Illustrator, for instance, even in CorelDRAW, I can decide to change the color of this Mary to red. I can decide to change this Christmas. I can even ungroup it and even change only the top to probably like anything I want to change it to actually. So that is editable, and that's the reason why anytime I download from Freepik, I just look at what I want to design. I look, okay, what I want to edit. And before I even start designing, I know what I want to do already. So that actually makes my design process very, very easy and fast. So that's it. So even this one is actually like very beautiful. Anyone you design, you can always edit it. Even this one, very beautiful actually. This Merry Christmas. And when you design it and you just put the name, they'll be like, wow, this guy is a very great designer. But then you're a great
Yeah.
designer, fine, but you just like simplified your process basically. So
Yes.
because there's a lot of things to achieve in a short time. So what else? So this is just a start. We are not designing today, even though we look at a logo or even look at a bit of a flyer. We are not really designing. We are still trying to understand how CorelDRAW works. So for
Yeah.
you have export. Export is try to export it to you. Let's say I want to export it to you and send it to you on WhatsApp, for instance. I'll export it. Uh, it's going to show a stuff. Let me put it as training. Let me put it on my desktop and I press export. So it's going to show CMYK. So because I'm exporting it and sending it to your phone, like to your WhatsApp, I'm going to change to RGB. So do you see the difference between the CMYK and RGB, sir? Like see the RGB, see the CMYK. Can you see the way it's dark? This is actually not
Yeah.
too good for it. This is not too good for a phone, like phone view, because it's not coming in with the original colors. So I'll put it on RGB, which is going to show the original colors. So I'll press OK. So when I'm done, I'm going to go to WhatsApp. Then I'm going to come to my probably desktop. I just drag and drop it on WhatsApp. And I just send it. And that's it. And voila, we have a design. So that's it. So I think apart from that, what else? Yes, that's for export. So we have import. I said how important was. Import is like you bringing something from somewhere else. Let's say I want to import this guy, for instance. I want to import this guy. Just drop it here. So this is this guy. So I now probably like start manipulating and the reason why I won't be able to use this design is because they actually have two different contrasts, like it's two different colors. Let's say, let me
Yeah.
try to mirror it to this side, for instance, now. And because yellow and green, it can work well fine, but in this context, this is Christmas.
This
It
one.
might not
Yeah.
really make sense. So put it top. So let me try to like shadow it and see if it makes sense. Might not really make sense. I'm coming some. So let me Alt B, then RGB. Okay. Then I'm going to transparent this bottom again to just blend it. So what I'll do is that I'm going to take this Merry Christmas, shift page up, and I can now like probably bring it to this side or this side. Or anyway, I want to put that. I can also power clip this guy here if I decide to power clip it. And I can even bring it like this. Can you see? So anything I want to see, that's what I'll just do. So it's just like something like this. So let me delete this guy. So that's how import works. Then let's continue to publish the PDF. If I publish it to PDF, for instance, it's just showing PDF basically. Just save, and we have it in PDF already. It's going to save. It's exporting here. So it has finished exporting. So I'll go to my file. Then this is the training. So this is the PDF file. Oh, it even showed them page one already set. So this is it. So I think apart from that, what's the file? So we have print. Even though we are not printing right now, we can also exit corridor, like F4 is just going to close corridor. So we have the edit, we have undo move. Undo move is Control Z, and um redo is Control Shift Z, yes. So I have something that is called repeats. It's going to be part of the shortcut I'll send to you. See Control Z, Control Shift Z, Control R, Control X, Control C, Control V, Control D. So let's say for instance I have a color, blue color, and I move it to this side and right click on it. I'm still going to teach you all of these things. I want to show you how repeat works. So if I press Control R, it just repeats. It just repeats. If I should drag this guy down here, and I just press Control R, Control R, it just repeats. So instead of like copy paste, it just repeats, just make your process easy actually. So that's how the repeat works. So this is edit. The repeat is here. It's not until I click on the object, that's when I can see repeat. So I have the copy, control cut, control copy, control paste, and control paste in view. Then you have control D, which is duplicate. So let's say for instance now, let me go to this EOM brand manual. So this is a brand manual I did sometimes ago. Yes. So let me stay here. So if I go to control D, if I should just press control D, it has duplicated this guy already. To just duplicate this guy. Control D is just duplicating this guy. So there's something that is now called uh, find and replace. So this find and replace is a very, very powerful tool. Find and replace. When I click on find and replace, that means I want to find something and replace with something else. For instance, now I want to replace a object, a color, right? So I want to change this. I want to replace every block in this design. I want to replace it with red. I just press replace all to do all the magic and replace everything. Can you see?
Wow. There's a second.
So you can actually have like thousands of context in these things. Let's say I choose let me go to another page for instance. I'm trying to see where I actually have a lot of stuff. And this actually like works when you actually like a lot of things in one place. And you don't want to be start changing one by one. Let's say I only have plenty things here. So let's say I want to change all the purple in this design. I want to change it to let's say let me say I want to change to this shade of blue, for instance, now. I just play replace all, it will replace everything. So the reason why this one is not replacing is because this one is not an object, this one is an outline. So to replace this outline, so outline, just like, right click on it to just change the outline to blue. So if you have a lot of objects at once and you just want to find and replace things, you can just replace things easily. So that's what the find and replace works for. Then the step and repeat, Control Shift D, um, Control Shift D, just step and repeat. So I think that's fine. Then we have the view, we have the wireframe. Wireframe is like is a wireframe basically without colors. Then we have enhance, which is like then we have zoom in, zoom out, proof of color, we have grid, we have rulers, we have we have different things actually. So all of these things are not really that important. Apart from the F9, which is full screen preview. If I press F9 for instance now, it's going to show me everything like in full screen. So an F4 is to like fit to screen. If I press F4, just bring to page. So I think that's for the view. Then we have the layout. You have insert page, duplicate page, rename page, delete page, go to page, and all of those things. I have how many pages here? Probably like 20 pages, right? If I want to go, let's say I want to go to page 22, I just press go to page 1, enter. It's on page 1 already. And I can even still press it on this place, this 1 to 20. Go to page 19. It just goes there. So that's how the page work. Then we have objects. We have objects, we can create objects, we can insert something, a barcode, for instance, or a QR code. It's just going to auto-generate it. So we have a QR code already for this. So you can objects, you can insert a barcode. You're going to generate barcode and you can just put what you want to write. Like let's say 4, 3, blah 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 blah. Then next is going to create. It's going to be creating it for us based on what I've. So you don't need to be drawing all these lines and all of these things. Do you understand, sir?
So
So we have other objects. We have power clip. I think I mentioned power clip. You can place something inside a container. For instance,
yeah,
if I have an image, this image, for instance, this we are hiring. If I have this image, I can decide to place this image inside this rectangle that is here. What I do is just I right click. Even though I don't want to do that, what I just did was I right click on the image, then I'll see power clip inside. Power clip inside. I'll just click on power clip inside. Then I'll go and paste it where I want it to be. Can you see that? So it's now there. So you can now even edit and now even say, okay, what I want to show. Probably I just want to show only the tables or the chairs. And that's the only thing I want them to see. So we have something like this already. Even though it's not really clear. So
yeah.
so I think that's for that. We have clear transformation, symmetry. I spoke about symmetry a while ago. We have symbols, we have rollovers, we have clear transformation. Clear transformation, the way clear transformation works is that, let's say that I actually have like, I write a text, for instance, now, and I just like deform this text. Let's say I did mistake and like deform the text, and the text is now looking weird. This is not the text again. This is not the font again. So if I go to object, clear transformation, it's going to return the text to the original state. Do you understand, sir? So
I took that again, sorry.
yeah, I'm sorry. I think the network is fluctuating. But then I said for the clear transformation, the way the clear transformation works is, let's say for instance now I have accidentally like deformed this text. This text is not now, this is not the text, right? I just deformed it and it's not looking weird, which is not something that I
Mm.
should be doing. But then if I want to return this text to the original state, so I go to object, then I clear transformations, it's going to go back to the original state. And
Okay.
that same thing works for object and all of those things. So can clear transformations. Then we have align and distribute. So this align and distribute is very, very interesting because that's actually going to shape um how well your aligning is. Let's go to the training, for instance. Let's go to a page. Let me delete all of these things. Let's say we have a landscape, sorry, portrait, right? So let's say I draw something like this. So you know that this is a text. This is a triangle. I said triangle. What am I saying? This is a rectangle, and this is the box, right? Let's say this is the box. I'm calling the box cyan, and I want to call this sun this blue. Let's say, for instance, now I want this box to be at the top of this place, right? But how will I do it? There's no way I'm going to be checking directly. Oh, let me check. Oh, it's not there. Let me put it like this or let me put it. All these things are waste of time, actually. So what you just do in this case is just that you align it. And to align it, you click on the parent. This is the parent. This is the child. So you click on the child, then you press shift, then you click on the parent. So when I press L on my keyboard, it just goes to the left. When I press T, it goes to the top. When I press C, comes to the center. When I press E, comes to equalize. When I press B, comes to the bottom. So let me reduce this so I will see how everything is. Press this guy, shift, then press this other guy. When I press L, it goes to the left. When I press R, it goes to the right. When I press left bottom, that's L and B, it comes to the left and bottom. When I press C, it's centered. To bring it to the center of the page is equalize. That's I'll press E, that's equalize. I can press L or R or C, that's stop. L is left, C is top, is at the top, B is bottom, E is equalize, C is center, and that's how the alignment works. Under alignment, you see the L, you can even press it here, but instead of pressing coming here, align and distribute, L, R, you can just press the letters on your keyboard. L, that's left, R is right, T is top, B is bottom, C is centered, E is equalized, P is center to page, which I've mentioned earlier. So that's like alignment and distribution. So yeah, so that's actually it. So what else? We have group. You can group an object. Let's say I click on this guy and this guy. And press Ctrl G, that's group. Ctrl U is on group. I'm still going to send you all the shortcuts basically, so you see everything. Then there's a lot of things inside this place. So we have fit to parts, fit object to parts. You have hide. You can hide something. We can or hide it. That's hide. But I really don't hide things actually. Hide and all that. I'll just delete. Then when I need, I'll do it again. So you can see convert to curves. So you can see convert to curves, convert to bitmap. For the convert to curves, I'll tell you how everything works. So let's say, for instance, I draw a box like this. If I press shape tool, I can just corner it.
Okay.
I can, this corner here is the corner. So there are three options here. There's this scalloped corner, there's this chamfered corner, and there's this round corner. So there are different kind of corner. Let's say I want to corner just one of them. I'll just unlock this place and I'll put everything on all these guys on 0, 0, 0. So I'll be doing everything one by one. You can also put the values depending on what you want to do inside this stuff here. So that's how but another thing is that as we have this box, for instance, now, we can convert it to curves. Because let's say we want to, that curves we're doing that time and that we're like playing with
Yeah.
shapes. We cannot do this because when we press on convert to curves, we can only start cornering it because that's the only thing that works for rectangles. So to now convert
Yeah.
it to that kind of stuff, what we do is that we come to objects, you see Control Q, convert to curves. When you convert to curves, that means it's no longer an object, it's now a curve. So when you can now see different curves at this side. You can convert this guy to curve and now start seeing all of these things. So
Well,
for instance, let's say I want to do something like this. I actually have a blue background and I just control copy, control P, control V, that's control paste. So I'm putting this one as let's say white. So if I should remove the outline which is showing black. So there are some designs that you see. Let me convert it to curves. That's object, convert to curves. Then I come to this um shape tool. Then this top and I put cover to curves. So I can probably like bring this to the top a bit. Then I can now probably start shaping this. I'm sure you'll have seen something like this in like books.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's how it is achieved. So I can like probably like bring this one down here. I can probably like bring this here, bring this here. So we can now probably put something inside this because it's now like a container as it is. So that's it. I can also control copy and control paste. That's control copy and V. So this one I can put it at this color, then control page down a bit. So you can have something like this.
Mm.
So you can see probably like control copy, control V, that's control paste. Then I control page down. Then probably I just change the color to let's say another family of blue. Let me use this turquoise blue. It's not showing. Something like this. So you can
Okay.
just probably do something like this. So we can also like just take all of these guys, group it together, and use our vertical mirror to this other side. Can you see? Or we can even mirror it to
Mm.
the top. Then when we mirror it to the top, we just press Shift and the background, then we press T to go to the top.
Okay.
Can you see the whole complexity of all of these things, sir?
Yeah.
So, so that's it. And I can probably like reduce it like this. Let me control copy and control paste. Then okay, I have like 10 more minutes. After this meeting, this will be the end for today. So we'll continue tomorrow, sir. So I'll try to upload
Yeah.
all the videos on YouTube today so that you can have access. I'll send you a link. So
Okay.
so I've already copied this guy. Let me change this like this. Then I shift and press B as bottom. So this is looking very generic already. So I can just take this guy and mirror to this other side. So it's looking more cool like this. So I can press this guy. I can press F11 and F11 just brings me to this place. Then I just press okay. So we are still even going to go to proper designs, but that will be probably after 2 days of even tomorrow. We are still even going to be analyzing the interface because that's like the most important thing to understand, like how the interface works. It's not about just jumping into a design or all of those things. If you can understand how the interface works, designing is not even going to be hard actually because I know that when I want to probably write a text, I can go here. I want to put shadow. I want to do this. I can go here. And we will design nothing less than 10 flyers, 10 different kind of things, probably clothes designs, bag designs, all of those things. So we now see them in different forms and now everything like connects together. So yeah.